Hey everybody, Roger here. I want to talk to you guys today about this new issue coming up in regards to YouTube, and YouTube doing a lot of hiring a lot of these trusted flaggers. Again, it's kind of interesting that we have this trusted flaggers thing to begin with in the first place. Apparently, their algorithms alone aren't enough to warrant keeping YouTube family friendly and safe. Instead of applying some, what I would consider pretty simple solutions of, if content is to be disturbing or has some sort of wrong think or whatever, and I hate that word wrong think, it's crazy. But if it has anything that's going against the, certain levels of a general audience acceptance, what they consider to be acceptable, then that should just be 18 plus. Just have people sign in. From there, it's going to be the end user's responsibility. There's going to be some people making fake accounts who are younger than 18, who are going to probably be logging in to view that stuff anyways. It's going to happen. You can't, just like with the mass shootings that we're having here and there, and again the local shootings as well with bigger cities, like Chicago, Baltimore, just killing, murdering people like crazy, and that's not ever an issue. You don't ever see people making town halls for those. You're never going to stop everything. You're going to eventually have to let people live. You're going to eventually have to let people do their own thing, decide their own thing, whether it's from fake or real content or whatever, or gosh, even propaganda. I mean, I would think the most dangerous thing out of everything is mainstream media propaganda over fake news, because at that point, I mean, everybody again is going to have their own methodology to try to decipher what they feel is real or not. And then you see all these other people out there who they're lazy as fuck, and all they want to do is just basically rely on Snopes, and they consider themselves academics in any sort of issue that they're debating about. That's all they've ever studied is Snopes, and they probably have only read the false or the true, section with a couple of sentences. So, okay, so going back to the YouTube trusted flaggers. Here's the issue. All of last week, they ended up taking down a lot of right-wing leaning, conservative, somewhat liberal, and even sometimes out there websites. YouTube channels. The biggest one that they took down last week, that they ended up taking down last week, and we all saw it coming, was InfoWars. InfoWars, both of their websites. Excuse me, I keep saying websites. They took down both of their YouTube channels. And so now Alex Jones has a new channel. I think it's called InfoWars Redone, or InfoWars something. But anyways, it's got, I think the last time I checked, and I did subscribe to it. When I subscribed, he had about 12,000 subs on it already at that point. And that was like the first night that he was banned. So I'm not a big Alex Jones fans. I will say he kind of did. I have respect for him in the fact that he did jumpstart me into actually considering, branching out just what I thought was normal, just what I thought was regular news and whatnot. So he was one of the main people who jumpstarted me into seeking alternative news sources. So I mean, to that I'll give him credit. And even then, I'm still constantly. This is the thing, and I wish a lot of people were like this. I constantly jump around from YouTuber, content creator to content creator, then to mainstream sometimes to see what's being put out there, and then back again. I'll do it back and forth and back and forth. I want to get both valid opinions, hypothetical opinions, trustworthy opinions. I want to see what some crazy people are saying as well. I want to get a blend of everything just so I can have a better idea of what it is. Sorry, there's a weird sound over here. I want to get a general idea of what it is that I need to know regarding a certain subject to make my own decision. Whether I don't need YouTube to butt in that area, and we're still saying that there's issues with Trump-Russia collusion, yet all this other stuff is coming out left and right about, Hillary, and her camp actually having all these issues. I think Bernie Sanders recently, is being ordered to pay, I think, half of a $25,000 donation because of some corruption thing. Maybe I'll put a link to the video below so you guys can see that. But here's the thing, it's like you guys aren't targeting that. It's obviously being selective. I do recall a video a couple months back where Sticks, Tex and Hammer 666, and I didn't agree with him on this. It's probably the only thing I didn't agree with him on, because I do feel there's a little bit more nefarious things going on. He was basically saying nobody needs to worry about this YouTube content, and I'm probably going to be misinterpreting this, so correct me if I'm wrong, people. He was basically saying, it's not going to be targeted. This kind of thing that YouTube is doing with their trusted flaggers, whatever, is not going to be something that's only going to be affecting right-wing, conservative, libertarian type content creators. It's also going to be affecting the left. But I'm like, okay, well, I do want to believe you on that, but obviously what's happened recently has shown that that's not true. Now, he may have also said, okay, well, might start with that, and then eventually they're going to get, the left is going to be, their channels might end up being, flagged here and there for whatever. But take a look at the type of people that YouTube has hired, in regards to flagging our content. Some of the pictures I saw of some of these individuals, you can definitely tell they were not, right-leaning or anything, or even libertarian. It's just, it is what it is. So here's where I'm going with all of this. I think that YouTube just needs to let up on its algorithm, let it stay what it is without these flaggers. If people want to be influenced, that's their thing. That's a personal decision to be a fool. It's a personal decision to also want to learn things. And you're taking that right away from us, however detrimental it may be. We all have the rights also to bear arms. We also all have, and it's going to be and that's a pretty dangerous thing. We if it's put into the wrong hands. When as we see, with the recent shootings, like especially Parkland, we have people on both sides of the avenue not doing their jobs. We have people in, I'm not sure if it was CPS or whatever organization that was coming over to the Cruz's house to, a couple of times, maybe 10 or 12 times, and then the officers, he keeps correcting himself. Sheriff Israel keeps correcting himself, saying it's not 39 times. That was, half of that was another group or whatever. And I think he eventually came up with a number like 26 or 27 times that they've been called. Still, they didn't do their job. So, it doesn't, just because an organization, let's say YouTube and the Parkland City Police Department have good intentions, they're not always going to be the best at doing their job. They're not even going to have the ability to enforce everything, because sometimes they're letting people take over who are either lazy, don't know what they're doing, or just have no interest in and the FBI. The FBI was part of this, obviously, with the phone calls, for sure. But I mean, you gotta just let up YouTube. You gotta let people just watch what they want. You gotta let people decide on their own. I mean, people go out and eat 9 freaking Big Macs all the time and 10,000 Monster drinks a day, and nobody's telling them that they're gonna have. They're gonna end up having heart attacks and strokes and seizures and hypertension. All of these things happening to them, and that's detrimental to them. But you know what? That's never argued on. So it's very rarely argued against. So I think you guys just need to chill out. I think you need to get rid of this stupid flagging program. I think you need to start letting YouTubers be their own content creators, be their own, do their own thing, make fake news or real news. Let us as individuals decipher them. I mean, unless you really think we're that stupid, which the majority of us are. And then from there, just allow us content creators to just do our own thing. Anyways, that's all I got to say on this. What do you guys think? Do you think that YouTube is taking it too far? Do you think they're doing the right thing by flagging and canceling account or deactivating YouTube accounts and whatnot? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys all have a great day. Take care. Bye.